Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Avernum 6. Ladies and gentlemen, we've explored everywhere, we've cleared out most of the stuff here. There's a few quests left to do, but I don't want to do them. I feel doing them would probably not be in the best interests of things. And right now, all that's left is to fix the Great Portal. We have a pylon here dedicated by Melanchion. All we need to do is get it in place and get the portal stabilized. So let's go do just that. Once again, you encounter Vandarin, the archer from the surface with a remarkable knack for finding himself in the middle of a battle. Most of the color is gone from his face. He could pass for a native Avernite now, and he bears quite a collection of scratches and burns. And yet he is as cheery as ever. Hello, warrior. We meet once again, I see, and in the same place as an earlier miserable meeting. But you have come, no doubt, to rebuild the portal and avenge Sergeant Nickel, and as before, I am honored to fight by your side. How did you come to join this battle? Well, I was returning to the Great Cave. My adventures up north didn't go too well, as you saw, and when I was passing by my old stomping grounds here, I saw the crowd. And you asked him what was happening. Could any true adventurer do less? Fortunately, Commander Merryhugh has heard of me, so she let me join in the battle. What fortune. And you didn't consider moving on? Move on? When a battle for the future of Avernum is about to be joined? That is not how I will earn my fame. And are you not here as well? I'm sure you understand. Sorry, when I get excited my legs hurt in the places where they broke. Ooh. Vandarin smiles and chats with you, but he is clearly eager to stop talking and begin fighting. Who do we report to? He points to Commander Merryhugh. A noble officer of Avernum. Is it true that you served under her? It must have been very fulfilling. It's who they sent me to. Of course, I understand. Understated to the last. Anyway, talk to her. She is the one who will give the order to advance. Today, we fight for glory. You leave him to enjoy his enthusiasm. Fantastic. Once again, a familiar figure greets you at the portal. This time, it is Commander Merryhugh, your former superior officer at the castle. She bears the burns and scratches of multiple skirmishes with the demon horde. She seems determined to survive where others, like unfortunate Sergeant Nickel, have fallen. Greetings! I see you have made it here, and you have performed better than I expected. Melanchion's crystal arrived, was tested by the sages, and was being placed. Well, we attempted to replace it, then we requested reinforcements. Looks like we got you. The crystal arrived safely. It did, even before you reported your success to the castle. I suspect that Melanchion has been moving it here carefully and secretly for weeks. Fortunately, it arrived intact, and it seems it will work. It has been tested? Yes, by Sage Hemris and his Slith Zerakai. It will definitely function to hold the portal stable. With charging, the Slith thinks that it will function just as well as the stone that exploded. Before it exploded, I mean. Where is it now? It is inside the gates. That's the problem. Once we carried it through the gates, the problems began. That's why we needed you. You have more questions? Act quickly. Little time remains. We need to move in, place the crystal, and restabilize the portal. How is the portal holding together? It isn't. The breach is widening. The energy is growing more unstable by the day, and it is attracting more and larger pests. What will happen if the portal isn't stabilized? The wizards disagree. Of course, they only agree on 3 things. 1, the portal will seal itself. 2, there will be an explosion. 3, it will attract more infernals before it goes. How long the process takes, how many demons will come, and whether the explosion will destroy all of Avernum are mysteries. Stronger demons are coming. That is true, which brings us directly back to why we called for reinforcements. What do you need from me? Here is what happened. The stone arrived and was inspected. Then the wizards charged it as quickly as they could. Not fully, but enough to control the portal. Then a platoon of fine soldiers carried it through the gate. And then? And then everything went mad. Something about the crystal's presence drove the portal crazy. Demons poured out. The soldiers dropped the crystal and ran. A few lived. Most didn't. Then once the crystal stopped moving, the demons stopped coming. So now what happens? We go back in and we move the crystal. But this time you and I and a few others will be there to fight off the demons. We must protect the soldiers as they move the crystal in place. So what do I do now? Prepare yourself. Become ready, but make haste in doing so. When you're ready for battle, tell me and we will open the gates and enter. Alright, let me cast a few spells and get into position to prep up. Alright. We're going to need... You know what? We can summon the beast when we get in there. So, let's see here. We got Cloak of the Arcane... Cloak of Blades, actually. And Ward of Elements is probably going to be very useful. There's that spell, there's that spell, and there's that spell. I'm ready, let's get started. Then our course is simple. Get through the gates. Once inside, we will close them so that the demons can't pour out into Avernum. Soldiers will move the crystal. If you see a demon, kill it. And that's everything. She claps you on the shoulder. Good luck to us all. The fate of all the poor starving souls remaining in Avernum is decided today. Then she turns and walks to the gate. It opens slowly, and she passes through. Once again, you step through these accursed gates and face the portal. It is less stable than it was the last time you saw it. If it is not repaired soon, it will either collapse or tear open. Neither would be good. After you pass through the gates, several other soldiers join you. They run to the crystal and take up positions around it, ready to haul it into position around the portal. This isn't the first time this was attempted. The blood and scorch marks on the ground testify to what happened last time. Perhaps with your help this time the effort will be successful. Alright, no time for speeches. You know what is at stake. All of Avernum is counting on us. Seal the hole. Heave! The soldiers strain, grunt, and tug on the ropes. Slowly, the crystal begins to move. Commander Maryhugh points up at the portal. There, they're coming! Be ready! Sure enough, shadowy, leathery forms are emerging from the portal. They are much larger than what you faced when the portal was destroyed. It is attracting larger and nastier enemies. Bull, move the stone! Other soldiers, attack! Alright then, let's get a divine restoration to get... There's the demons! Fortunately, as long as we can hold them all over here, we should be fine. Well, that didn't do very much. Fortunately, we have Arcane Blow, which did do a bit, but some of them appear to not be affected. Rune Ward and Blade Wards. Okay, I think I get it. Oh, looks like we're going to be getting reinforcements as we fight. Very good. That's not the one you guys should be attacking. We can deal with this. Alright, come on. There. You guys focus on the Rune Ward. We'll focus on these creatures over here. Very nice. Terror White and Icy Horror. Oh boy. Right, do as much damage as you can. Thank you. Alright. Well, that definitely works. At least we have warriors helping us out. Okay, we need to get it over to here. This is gonna be a long fight. There. That works. Oh yeah, we've done a lot of damage to these things already. What came out now? Infernal Thrasher. Fantastic. Attack that one. Very nice. Did not do what I expected or hoped. That Infernal Thrasher is probably going to be a huge problem. What are those? Rune Ward Imps. Alright. Cast this again. Very nice. Arcane Blow. There. Alright, that got rid of the Icy Horror and one of the Rune Wards. That Infernal Thrasher worries me. Okay, at least the Flaming Hellbeast is going down. Perfect! Alright, at least we're keeping them back for now. Those Hellbeasts are weak against being smacked around. Very nice. You could actually do with giving a healing to... There we go. One of those soldiers is getting weaker. And it's just an Avernite soldier. Alright, do what you can. That's a nice hit. Very nice job. Okay, we're holding him back, but... There's another one of those icy horrors. There's that thing. This is working so far. Excellent. Alright, let's see if we can keep that soldier alive. I can spare the time. Oh, that's a lot of imps. Nice job on those parries, whoever did that. Oh, they're overcoming again. There goes one of those imps. Alright. Can't really get everything, not from where you are. Alright, Arcane Blow. There we go. We may lose that soldier soon. We should probably heal him up. Right, as many hits as you can. Excellent. There goes that flaming hellbeast. Heal that soldier. I want to get us all out of here just fine. Say what you want. I want to. Arcane Blow. Actually, better idea. You have the chance. Arcane Summon. Twice. The more assistance we can get, the better. We are slowly getting it out, and it's slowly getting closer. Right, and... Divine Retribution, do it again! Oh dear, I think that soldier may be about to die. Arcane Blow again. Nice job, almost got that horror out of here. Excellent. Oh, great. We got another one of those things. Right, get him healed. He's terrified and running, but we can keep him alive. Very nice. Excellent. There goes the Blade Ward Imp. And just in time for more of them to show up. All of them are Blade Wards. Great. Divine Retribution. Again. Right, how about a Lightning Spray? That's pretty nice. Worked fairly nicely. Great, those archers aren't going to do very well against them. Very nice. You feel the ground shake under your feet. A huge, lumbering, shadowy figure is visible within the portal. You turn and brace yourself. A moment later it emerges. It is a towering, terrifying beast, a gigantic slab of scales, muscle and lightning, wrapped in a robe of spider silk and silver wire. It looks across the battlefield, sees you, and moves toward you. The portal has at last attracted a Hakai, one of the barons of Hell, and it is coming to challenge you for control of this outpost. You can't afford to fail. That's not good at all. Do as much damage to the thing as you can. Infernal Lord, oh boy. This is going to be very bad. Come on. Poison it. Yes, fire all your arrows at the Infernal Lord. It has to die. Although I suppose killing that Rune Ward Imp will help. And it's still summoning more creatures. Fire Blast. There we go. Okay, it stuns when it hits. But that pylon is almost there. Alright. There's that one. Won't be too much longer, I think. We are slowly getting there. He ran in. Just don't die. Well, there go one of our minions. Summon another. Fire Blast. One of the soldiers died. Two of the soldiers, in fact, I think. And these minions are still showing up. Right, Deadly Divine Fire. Definitely does something. You're running low on energy. And I just realized Ortas is almost dead. We need to get a Divine Restoration in here. We're also running out of all our buffs. Where the hell is that Infernal Lord going? We need a healing. Divine Restoration. Divine Retribution. That does something at least. Well, we got another soldier at least. Come on, it's just gonna be like 3 more turns and we'll be in. Another soldier died. Nice job there. Okay. Need that, and you need to heal Ortas. Great, Ortas is slowed. Alright, haste, counter it. Perfect. Now, Fire Blast. Ortas needs another healing. I think we all need a healing. Right, weaken him. The Infernal Lord is almost dead, so that's a plus. Arcane Blow. Come on, kill that Hakai, quickly! He is slowly dying. Come on. Still can't move. Why? Why has the pylon stopped moving? Come on, finish off that Hakai Lord. Do we need at least 2 soldiers at a time in order to get it anywhere? That may be it. We're so close. There we go, the Hakai Lord is dead. Summon another minion. Okay, we're getting more soldiers in. I guess 1 soldier alone can't move it. One of our soldiers just died. Okay. Arcane Blow again. There, that killed one of those creatures. Okay, I think the pylon's gonna be moving again soon. Yep, it's slowly moving. Right, as many hits as you can here. Divine Restoration. Oh boy. At least it was only doing it once. There, that killed a few of them. it's almost there. Oh great, more of those things. It's like as soon as we get a chance, more happens to cause problems. It's almost there. Keep Merihue alive. Oh, your turn. This'll work. Excellent. And a fireball to finish off that one. Perfect. It's almost there. One more turn and it should be there. That was surprisingly effective. No matter. Alright, Fire Blast. Very nice. Alright, get it in place. It's just about there. At last, the stone slides into place. The ring of crystals is complete. Suddenly, everything gets very still. Warriors and infernals alike, they look to see what will happen. But instead of being put back into balance, the new power source at first only disrupts the portal more. It sways about wildly, and then it begins to inhale. An enormous wind begins to blow, sucking everything, soldiers, demons, supplies, bodies, into the maw of the portal. You throw yourself onto the ground, struggling to hold on and keep from being devoured. And then you lose your grip. In one final pull, the portal pulls in everything nearby but the crystal spires that support it. In your last moments in Avernum, you see the magical doorway grow still, stable, restored. And then it sucks you through. The force of the portal increases, defeating all of your efforts to resist it. After working so hard to recreate the portal, you are, unwillingly, the first through it. You fly through with great force, and after a horrible, tearing, vertiginous sensation, you find yourself in another cavern. A group of startled Avernite soldiers are staring at you. No, not soldiers of Avernum. Soldiers of Upper Avernum. One steps forward, helps you to rise to your feet, and says, "Welcome to the Portal Keep. You're near the surface now." Dazed and bruised, you and the Avernite warriors sucked through with you are taken to the city of New Kotra. Upper Avernum is another huge series of caverns, this time not far below the world's surface. You are quickly debriefed by a series of commanders and generals, all desperate to know if the Great Portal is functioning. Once they believe that it is restored, they immediately leap into action. Before the day is out, caravans of relief supplies are headed to the Portal Keep, and barracks are readied for the next wave of refugees. The disaster all feared has been averted. You immediately request permission to use the portal to return to Avernum. After all, much remains to do down there. Your homeland is still on the edge of chaos. And yet you soon receive a harsh reminder that you are still enlisted in the army. Permission is denied. Perhaps your mistake was telling them all you had accomplished in Avernum. When you beg to return to the underworld, a general claps you on the shoulder. "I admire your loyalty to the old homeland. But you are valuable now, not just as a warrior, but as a symbol. Those caves are the past. We need to look to the future. We need to build new land for ourselves." And thus, once you have barely enough time to rest and recover from your wounds, you find yourself at a huge stone gateway, staring out into the sun. You spent your whole life in Avernum, only imagining the sun. You had no idea how terrifying being outside on the surface could be. The burning sphere in the sky, the open space, the immensity of it all. It takes weeks to adjust to it. It even takes several days just to be able to stay outside more than a few minutes at a time. But then you begin to adjust. You grow used to warmth and cool breezes and rain and even food that is not entirely fungus-based. Turns out that the surface world has many good points to it. And then you are rushed to the frontier. Upper Avernum has land on the surface in the wildest regions of the continent of Valorum. This is the land given to Avernum by the Empire. It is harsh and wild, but compared to the underworld, it is as threatening as a light wind. You set to work, building forts and settlements. And the refugees keep coming. They flow through the portal, reducing the population of the underworld until few enough remain below to survive on the food available. It is hard work calming the new arrivals, settling them, and keeping them safe. All insist on strong defenses, remembering well the cruelty of the Empire in the past. But the leaders of the Empire know well that free Avernum still exists far below. They remember the assassination of cruel Emperor Hawthorne and the consequences of underestimating the underworld. The Empire could try to crush New Avernum. They might even succeed, but the future emperors know the possible consequences of angering the cave folk, and they enjoy having a country the rebellious can move to. Upper Avernum survives. And thus, promoted to commander, you carry out the rest of your military career, not enduring war, but building a proper and lasting peace. It is a good life, busy and rewarding. There's but one regret. At times you miss the caves, the enclosure, the harsh beauty, even the food. As your responsibilities grow heavier, Avernum grows wilder and more remote. The portal becomes older and weaker, and fewer are allowed to use it as time passes. The surface becomes your true home, for you are never able to set foot in Avernum again. And what happens to Avernum? What was the final fate of your homeland, the site of so many wars, so many adventures, so much joy and sorrow? The blight was never cured. The lack of food in Avernum meant that it was destined to have a small population. Only the bravest and strongest lived there, sustained by a meager diet of fish, lizard meat, and cavewood fruit. Most Avernites flee to the surface, settling in Upper Avernum and leaving a small population behind that can survive on the available food. But what happened to them? At first, the underworld seems to be on the verge of chaos and ceaseless warfare. But there is a new power to the north. The dragon Melanchion was quiet as it settled in, found followers, built defenses, and gained influence. As most of the residents of the underworld fled toward the light, Melanchion remained silent no longer. The mighty Drake began to contact those who remained, offering them protection in return for tribute. It was not an offer that could be safely refused. Some accept the offer, allying themselves with the Drake. Some fight back. Melanchion had not been able to eliminate enough of his rivals before the Great Portal was restored to grab absolute power. Avernum continues to be a place of constant warfare. The remnants of the Slith Horde, the Fang Clan, the humans, the Drakes, the Giants, all competing for pieces of land to call their own. Sometimes groups of militant Venati come to claim what they feel was stolen from them, and then there are rebels from the Empire lands above, both friendly and hostile to the dwellers below, and the occasional demon. But thanks to the strength of Melanchion's alliance, the warfare is far less than it would have been. And what of the nation of Avernum? Those who gather under its crown banner stick together. Their numbers much reduced, they retreat to the Great Cave and the Tower Colony. Understanding that survival requires unity, they band together, fortify the forts and tunnels, and maintain an uneasy peace with the dragon. The Great Portal remains the lifeline to the surface, invaluable for trade. Control of it keeps the nation of Avernum on equal footing with the dragon. Avernum, while smaller, remains relatively unchanged. King Starus maintains his rule, and his wisdom guides his nation through a painful period of contraction and adaptation. At one point, the wizard Gladwell attempts to unseat him and take charge, but the eccentric mage's efforts come to naught. He is banished to the abyss, and little more is heard from him after. The castle and the Tower Colony, once rebuilt, are the centers of learning, and Almaria and Darman are the primary cities. Myrtis, now on the border, becomes a major trading hub. Blosk and Silvar are abandoned. And what of the rest of Avernum? The Abyss maintains its independence. Spire and Barga, facing a wild and uncertain world, set aside their differences at last. While always in Avernum's shadow, it remains a place of rogues, criminality, and raucous freedom. The Venati, meanwhile, have learned the harsh lesson of what happens when they don't zealously guard their homelands. They never again entirely go to sleep. Unwelcome intruders in their lands meet quick and gruesome ends. However, the Venati are still a peaceful and thoughtful people at heart. They maintain cordial, if distant, relations with the races with whom they must share the underworld. The Anama continue to exist, always giving their counsel about the wisdom of self-restraint and the danger of power, and always being ignored. Upper Avernum lives as long as the Empire does. Everybody is surprised to find that the leaders of the Empire, remembering the danger of angering the underworld, allow it to survive. They keep their end of the great bargain. It is a small, cramped land, filled with immigrants too bright and unpredictable to remain in the Empire. and it is this quirky and independent population that helps Upper Avernum to survive and flourish. The Slith horde survives as well. Much of the northern land they seized from Avernum remains in their control. The reduced population of Avernum doesn't need it, and they couldn't defend it if they had it. Now that the savage Slithzerkai have regained most of the land they lost when humans arrived in the underworld, their honor is restored. They maintain an uneasy peace with Avernum. Of course, if their vicious leaders had not been destroyed, this would not have been possible. Thus you deserve the credit for much of the new peace. And the Empire survives. The strife and the madness of its leaders are left behind. It enters a quiet middle age, full of peace, firm and calm control, and a long and gentle stagnation. Though some dark side loyalists still live, they are, in the end, too weak of force to make a real difference. Emperor Redmark, as he promised, hunts them all down. Of course, as all such nations must, the Empire eventually crumbles and splits apart into acrimony and violence. But this is a tale of the far future. And Avernum remains for many centuries as it is now, a wild place of freedom, adventure, and danger, a dark land of magic and wealth for those strong enough to claim them. Dragons, demons, wizards, assassins, all come and go. None are ever able to completely master those many miles of tunnels. Avernum returns, in a way, to its original purpose. Those misfits who can never fit in on the surface are always drawn there, though now they go willingly. And sometimes they return, richer or wiser, or in urns. It is always there, always in people's minds, in their dreams, a wild place, untamed and untamable, that whether they like it or not truly exists under their feet. The free, dark, deadly, welcoming, undying shadow image of the world, waiting for whomever would challenge it. The end. And thus, at last, ends the tale of Avernum, or at least the Avernum Saga. From when the demon Grahoth and Emperor Hawthorne were killed, to the Blight and Avernum's eventual end. It finally comes to an end. I'll be honest, me, myself, I enjoy these games. Geneforge I enjoyed because of the ideas that they bring into it. Of what they talk about, how they perceive these kinds of things, and all that sort of stuff. And the setting to it, how unique it is, how you don't have the standard kind of fantasy tropes, the goblins and the wolves and all that sort of regular stuff. Avernum, sure, it has all of that. But it's the world of Avernum itself that I love. The people within it. I'll always remember the names of these places. The Great Cave, Darman, the Abyss, the Venatai, Fermello, which I am sad is now in the hands of the Slith Horde. I always loved Fermello. Somehow, for some reason, that would have been the place I would have wanted to live. I'm sad to see it in the hands of the Slith Horde. But it is the end of the age of Avernum's prosperity. It's... I'm kind of at a loss for words here, I admit. What I love of Avernum is the land of Avernum itself. Dangerous as it is, crappy as the food may be, harsh as it is, I love it. I would want to visit Avernum. Even if I probably would die down there as a person myself, I'd want to visit it. It's fascinating. I love it. And I'm glad to have gone through this entire series. I enjoy Avernum. I've said that too many times. But all things must come to an end, and at last the tale of Avernum has come to an end. For now. Eventually I will get to Blades of Avernum. But before I do, there is one more series made by Spiderweb Software that I have to see, that I have to do. 2 of the games in it have been made, and at least a third is on its way. if I'm lucky, the third will come out before I finish the two. Or maybe right about when I finish them, so I can be one of the first to play it. But we will begin that in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44. This has been a Let's Play of the entire Avernum Saga. That has been all the adventures throughout the most notable times within Avernum's history. I shall see you all next time, when we learn the tale of Avedon.